I am Mariano Equizzi. I am a member of Komplex Live Cinema Group, and this is our first work. It is already lurking in Turin. And we are planning and we are already engineering with a telco company of Bulgaria to make it in Varna and in Sofia. Okay, but more than a story of the project that I tried to summarize in the slides, Komplex 28 is a twisted crime story crowded by surreal characters: traffickers, banksters, hypnotizer, biological entities, nurse thugs, politicians, election day, and psycho drones. Essentially, is our reality. And to create this mashup, we started to play with Monty Python. We used a little cyberpunk. And after that, we steered with the conspiracy theories. All of them, from chemtrails to Illuminati, we used all the symbols related to this kind of... and essentially is a situationist international provocation according to what done Malcolm McLaren in the UK. It's very punk. This story is set in the surface of your city. This is... why Turin? Because in Turin started the problem of our contemporary reality. A nation founded by big loan from the banks. This ironic shamble, because it is very ironic, there is nothing too much serious or menaceful, driving us into a very powerful paradigm. K28 is a way to rethink augmented reality. Because the augmented reality vibrant question is, what is the resonance among the trigger image, the content that will pop up, and the space in which the trigger lies, and the audience that has to be inspired to perform the augmented reality. Because normally augmented reality is used to track down a logo, for example, Nike logo, and you will have a gimmick related to the logo. We started to think in terms of resonance, but let's dip a little bit, let's peep inside the concept of resonance. It is when different emitters amplify together their signal. Giorgio de Chirico discovered metaphysical art in Turin. He started to think to metaphysical art in Turin. And exactly we catch that kind of resonance. To see reality in a totally different way. But a concrete reality, urban surface, the skyline. So Komplex 28, the paradigm of Komplex 28 is to entangle the city surface, a story that is in resonance with the city, and the viewer-explorer, which is the main character. Because what we need is to empower the audience, is to transform the city in the White Rabbit of Lewis Carroll. And the audience will disclose the trip beyond reality, collapsing reality with augmented reality. So empowering, sorry for the fancy stuff, empowering audience, warping city. It is a thrill for the audience. The revelation of the story becomes a personal experience. I don't want to show to the audience an actor that probably is not a star she loves. I want to say, you are the actor, that you are discovering reality, that you are crossing the border. You are one character from Paul Auster book, from Thomas Pynchon book, from Philip Dick book. You, not me, not the actor I've chosen. Because the actor I've chosen will never be Tom Cruise, will never be Iron Man, or will never be Scarlett Johansson. So, twist the problem and use the augmented reality like a sort of pills, the pills of Matrix. But you have not to swallow nothing. You have to use just your mobile phone. Finally, is a psycho-geographic experience. It is very strange how an emerging technology is using a concept that was invented out by Situationist International during the 60s. It's not a movie. It is a situation. We inspire to see beyond the surface of reality. And we use an anomaly, because augmented reality is an anomaly, but to tell anomalies. I don't want to tell a gimmick about Nike or a brand. I want to crash the wall to show something else, and to invite even to invite even the viewer to do something like this by himself. I want to provoke the audience to transform augmented reality in a urban art, in a land art. It's a sort of graffiti. If there is something that is linking all the city of Europe, I can say that I'm a vagabond, more or less. It is the fact that there are crowded of graffiti. There is no square meter in Sofia that is not scribbled. And even here I notice it. So, another concept that I love very much is the one of revelation, profanation, and reappropriation of the imaginary in the urban surface. Because another thing that I love to imagine is not a viewer that is glued on a set. Because the humankind is not done to be set forever or glued in a living room, but to explore, to enjoy the city, to discover something that probably they never noticed. And in order to do that, I will create a little bridge between the story and the surface that is suspension of disbelief. Because what is very nice is that we trust in our mobile phone. We trust in the screen of our mobile phone more than our best friend. So the suspension of disbelief will be immediately. The process is more or less, it's a little bit cumbersome, but more or less it's simple. First of all, we have to have a mind-bending story that is able to create a thrill. Surprise, astounding, amazing. Snap the photo, and we have to do a lot of photo, especially in sunny, cloudy night, a lot of them, even of each kind of experience. Each kind of spot has to be photographed many times along the day. Then we use compositing, and we are, so I don't want to endorse, but believe me, Nuke makes the difference with all the rest compositing program. Nuke is so nice. Post audio and music, and we use Aurasma, and then we publish it. Why we use Aurasma is simple, because when we explained our paradigm to Aurasma, they accepted it for free. What is important is they asked not to use brand, but to use surface of the city. So the brand strategies, because we are already dealing with a telco company, I cannot say the name, but we are dealing with a telco company, and essentially it is the jack in the box. We use the whole city like in a big, enormous jack in the box. And the brand, if we use a brand, will pop up after, will pop up through the experience, through the augmented reality experience, not before, because people love to buy, not to be sold. Not a motion graphic gimmick related to the brand, but an epic disclosure. When I say epic disclosure, I'm not referring to the gladiator. I am referring to a story that is able to inspire, that is able to reveal something, that is able to play with the icons of our reality. Okay, the main actors, actually, our main actors are or telco, or a brand which has a story in a specific area, and it wants obviously not to start from the label of the clothes, but he wants to bring the user inside the store because they are searching, they are inspired by the sort of discovery of a story, the disclosure of a story. So it is very strange how we finally get the point that ironically, augmented reality is the winning point of gonzo culture because the POV of the viewer is essentially the main element of the show. So, if we can run the little video, but it is just a background because I don't think to be an interesting figure for your question. Just a background. It's not a specific presentation. It's just a loop video, and even the audio can be almost down. Any question? I'm here. These are based on the Turin experience. But but you can make question. It is not. There is no rhetoric. I mean, it is just background.
Okay, I first think you killed everybody. No, because like it's a fantastic project. I think it's super interesting. I think it's a very tough part, like to find the right partners which are able to go along with you about the way you think. I think you need a clearer transmission to somebody who like want to talk to a brand and to give them a presentation like this. I think you're gonna have a trouble like to get what you really want from them.
Yes, more or less, it happened with this big telco company. In Bulgaria, there are 3 telco companies, and they share the market.
Okay.
And 30, more or less. And we are already dealing with one of them. Also because consider that Sofia is a little bit like Warsaw.
Okay.
It's very mysterious. Not to mention that in Sofia, it is the first city, and playing with the resonance.
Yeah.
It is the first city in which during the 70s they opened a parapsychological university for the mind control of the people. So we start to play with this kind of resonance.
Okay.
First of all, thank you for the inspiring presentation. It was very nice. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think though that I don't get something. I mean, because it's very like I think you inspired us with a lot of visual images and stories, and that's the cool part. I was trying to figure, I mean, how a real project could be, because you were talking about Turin, you were talking about
Turin.
Store, you were talking how engaging people get inside the store using walls of the
For example,
cities.
exactly,
I need something just to understand better what you were thinking, or I mean, how to develop this project. I just need maybe a couple of tips more, like in a practical, like developing of a project. What are the entry points for the target, for example?
Yes, exactly. So the main entry point is, for example, a telco company that start to say that there is a story related to their store. But it is not 1 kilometer after the store. It's inside the store, and you can point a specific point inside the store that are not related with the brand, but are related with even with a desk, or with a facade, or with a little surface that is close to the facade. What is important is to understand there is a paradigm that is based on urban surface. The entry point is start with the point, get the thrill, be amazed, you know, in a way disclose something that you cannot even imagine, and from that you will pass from one point to another point to another point. In Turin we made a very dirty job, we can say. We made a very nasty job because we used all the points related to the unification of Italy, you know, and inside that we implanted very ironical and symbolic image. In a way, it is a sort of brainwash, you know. It is a sort of brainwash, but in case of Turin, it's even a little bit ominous. But the entry point is just one. Could be the facade of the brand, could be an angle, you know, even a specific, we can say, an architectural interweaving inside the store, and you can start with the other style, and you can start with the other spot.
Okay, I mean, it sounds good. I mean, the idea is, I'm sure the idea is very good. The thing is that, I mean, it's still very in theory, you know. No, the thing is, it's a theory more than a practical, theoretical more than practical. I was just another question.
Yes.
Maybe then I passed it to my colleagues. But the interaction. I mean, you were talking about the importance of mobile. That is, I mean, you trust more than your friends, right? This is interesting. How do you put the mobile application or mobile experience inside this process? I mean, you think, I mean, we are using surfaces, urban surfaces, then they're like, you must be connected to your mobiles in some way from the surfaces. Do you have something, another image in mind to show me what you think when you think about mobile experience.
Okay, there is a specific app. In this app, you will find all the surface of the city in which you can find the experience.
Okay.
But the experience itself is not revealed. This is the Jack in the Box. You gotta go there, dalon, blang. This is it. You know. But in this application, there are all the urban surface, that are scanned. And what is interesting is even geolocalized, GPS. But be aware, because there is something that nobody knows about GPS. And only when you discover, you start to think why sometimes the JDAM bomb are not able to hit the right target. When you are along the shore of Po River in Turin, you are not there. For the system, you are 1 kilometer after. So there are a lot of anomalies in GPS, a lot. For this reason, when we developed for Turin this augmented reality adventure storytelling, we were forced to do a GPS version and a non-GPS version. And this is a little bit cumbersome because you have to duplicate the job. But the GPS works in a very strange way. It is not precise at all. When there is water, when there are tram electricity wire, it doesn't work. But it is an application with a name, with a specific target, with a specific story.
Okay, thanks. I think I have thousands of questions, but my time is finished, so I pass the microphone to my colleague.
And how we convinced this telco company was when we were in front of the telecommunication palace of Sofia, in front of a door, and they pointed, their mobile phone. The door opened and they entered inside, and they said, "Yes, okay, we can start." Because it is okay. It is very interesting. I mean, it is very funny even to do it. Welcome.
My question is, I understand those points where you get, then you have some experience. What was the target? What do you want to achieve?
Traffic.
Collect some points
Traffic.
or
No.
get
The traffic.
traffic.
The traffic itself. To increase the traffic in mobile, and we can say a telco company of a country that is not USA, is trying to get the traffic from their side, not from the side of Mr. Zuckerberg, and they have to invent this kind of things in order to drag the time, to use the time to inspire the audience, not only with their personal media, personal affairs, that is the best media in the world, but even with more kind of experience, with different kind of experience. Adrift in the media, in the mobile experience. And this is the concept of adrift in mobile experience, urban mobile experience.
I'm drifted.
Let me stand a little bit longer.
Thank you.
Well,
On one level, if I try and process this sort of objectively, there's a lot I don't understand. But if I just let go and just look at this and absorb it, it's fascinating. There's so many things about this that are making me ask questions, which is great. But I wonder if this isn't about storytelling, this is more about art, and more about sort of bespoke art, which is about urban language, as you said, conspiracy theories, and all of that as a language rather than a narrative. If we think about it like that, this is fascinating, and I can see how it would apply to brands. But on a storytelling level, just on an objective level, I think one of the things that maybe we are not seeing is what thread links it. But on another, maybe that's not necessary. And so therefore, I'm just as confused as everyone else, but just as inspired as everyone else as well.
can I quote a beautiful phrase, beautiful quote from James Joyce? James Joyce once said that what is clear and concise can deal with reality. For what is real is to be surrounded by mystery. Out of a mystery, I can provoke conversation. I can provoke, okay, I am a UFO people. I am a conspiracy guy. I follow a lot of conversation, not because I believe, because I want to listen a different story. I want to listen a different side of perception. I cannot tell you the full story of ufology, as well I cannot tell you the last book of Paul Auster. I'm not able to tell the trilogy of New York, but I can experience the trilogy of New York.
But remember that this is about people. If you're trying to involve an audience, we all have a framework within which we think and we process and understand. So, you know, as an artist, that's great. But if you are asking other people to get involved, interact and communicate, you need to give them some kind of framework within which they can actually understand. Otherwise, we're not communicating.
Yes, you're right.
And that's the key. James Joyce, very different example. I get what you're saying, but you can't relate that to this project. That this is very much, in your words, about, you know, audience participation, augmented reality, and creating this world. And for that, you know, you need communication. Let me pass it to my colleagues.
Okay.
Thank you. It was interesting performance, art performance, I mean. It's my question is about you are putting all the people into one device, all experiences through the mobile. Is it possible to have the experience without electricity?
Without electricity?
Yes.
Yes, with LSD.
Okay.
Okay, so you can use even the same photo in Flickr. You point and it starts. Plus, all this experience. I mean, all this animation. You can click on it, and you will go in a cloud of content that is related to Giphy or Gi-Fi. Or what is the pronunciation of Giphy? Giphy is the portal of GIF. Okay, so when you click on this specific, in the specific hallucination you are seeing, you will accede to a YouTube channel, to a SoundCloud channel, and to a sort of very incongruous website, I confess you, and a Giphy portal. So Komplex 28, and I'm not talking here about the paradigm. I'm talking about Komplex 28 is a full cloud of content that starts from augmented reality, or even outside augmented reality, and you can dip for literally for hours and hours. Because we invented out an interface in the website that is based on one fact: the people in front of the screen has a very little attention, so is not able to remember what you already seen. But this is Komplex 28. It is not the paradigm I am here explaining to you.
How successful are you making money with this?
Yes, because we are starting with telco.
Is it profitable?
Because of augmented reality. Consider that for each city, and I am dealing even with the Albuquerque, yes, New Mexico, where there are UFO, Roswell, you know, this kind of stuff, and it is a single experience is approximately from 50,000 euro to 70,000 euro. Each experience, each city experience.
Okay, this is from your side, but from the other side, are people making money with this your project? I mean,
because of the traffic. They pay the traffic.
Yeah.
People pay the traffic. The mobile traffic is not free.
I'm not so sure about this business model, because for telco companies, which I used to work for 12 years, we have a huge problem with the traffic. Actually, telco companies would like to decrease the traffic, because the video downloads and everything, this is taking too much and people are paying too less.
But this is the video. But the video download of the video of Rihanna 3 minutes and a half, yes. But a little clip of 30 seconds, it is less. And it is engaging, because everybody knows the of Rihanna.
Okay, we can discuss it about it.
Obviously,
Yeah. Okay, I will pass the microphone.
Just very quickly, well, I love your thinking. I mean, I think the concept is new and innovative, but I also agree with my colleagues that it's very much an art project, and I was thinking about video installations and so on, an advanced form of that. But I was thinking, so if I go to Turin, I can experience this.
Sure.
And how much was the cost? It's just to get an idea to
So the cost. So in Turin, we dealt with to share, and in order to provide to share eternally, we had a cost of approximately 40,000 euro. In terms of timing, go to Turin during, even you know, makings, you know, snappy photo on the rain. It is important to make the photo with iPhone. Don't do the photo with other devices because it doesn't work. If you do photo with a super Nikon camera, just you are losing time and money. But in Turin, you can experience, and also in Turin, because of this metaphysical repetition of the city, it is very nice. You can snap the same experience in different places, because it's a very metaphysical city, but very metaphysical. It is a magical place.
I like it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.